All right, I'm gonna title this uh, "The Butler and the Baker," um, and is really the theme of the video is that the Most High can. It's a light thing for the Most High to raise you up, out of prison, out of unfavorable situation, and make your captives, your enemies, be at peace with you. It's a very, very light thing. You have tons of examples of that in the scriptures, and brothers have their own testimonies personally as well. So if you walk with the Most High, the Most High walks with you. This is real quick, Proverbs 16:7. It says, "When a man's ways please Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him." So the Most High, he acknowledges that. He sees that, and he's like, okay, all right, I'm going to make your enemies be at peace with you. And I have examples of that. Sure, other brothers have personal testimonies of that. The story I want to get on is about Joseph when he was in Egypt, and he was thrown in prison. This is Genesis chapter 40, and there was a butler and a baker that was put in there with him. So the Most High was basically with him the whole time. This is Exodus, Genesis 31. This is Genesis 40 and verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers." So they basically had offended him. He was basically pissed off at him. Reading on, verse 3, "And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued a season in ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in mine hand, and I took the grapes, and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. So the Most High gave Joseph basically gifts of interpretation. Reading on. Yet within 3 days, verse 13, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner, when thou wast his butler. But think on me, when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. So Joseph was like, all right, I'm look out for you, look out for me, just remember. And, as you keep reading on, he gets out, and he don't even mention Joseph. I've been in what's not locked up because I was confined, but in an institution where I couldn't leave. I was locked up. People leave, they not looking back. They want to put that behind them. It reminds me of a scene with 12 Years a Slave, when the slave master came to get one of the slaves, a redeemer. The slave was like, yeah, we gonna ride on this cracker, all that type of stuff. They're like, yeah, we gonna ride on that cracker. Then when his slave master came to redeem him, that's my slave, yes, I'm coming. And Solomon North, who they was calling him Platt, he was yelling at him, and I'm like, yo, trying to get his attention, like, hey, you gonna say bye? He ran into his white master's hand, and then he turned and looked to where he was running away from. He was like, bro, like, you leaving me and not even saying bye, not gonna put in a word, nothing. It's the same concept with him. He was just ready to just leave. He's just like, man, new life. But the Most High still had a trick, had other plans still. Now, reading on, verse 15, for indeed I was stolen away out of the hand of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing, that they should put me into the dungeon. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days, 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. 21. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup unto Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forget him. That's the part I was saying earlier. He forgot him. But thing is that then Pharaoh had a dream. If you keep reading, Pharaoh had a dream, and nobody could interpret his dream. And that's the next chapter over. And the magicians, everybody couldn't interpret it. But then the butler, after a while, it said after 2 full years in verse 1. So this is after some time. The butler kind of overheard the dream. He was like, oh, yeah, this is this guy. He in jail, yeah. His conscience kind of struck him. Yeah. And so Pharaoh went to go search for Joseph. He said, hey, tell me what this is. He said, all right, 7 years of plenty food and 7 years of famine. Here's how y'all handle this. 5 years, y'all, reap, and save and store some food. And everybody saw that was good. And then it was because his reliability, his integrity, and him walking with the Most High, his ways pleased the Most High, and he found favor with his enemies. It's no different than with Mordecai when he alerted Esther, and Esther alerted Ahasuerus, basically that there was a plot to kill him, and nothing happened. And shit, actually, and when he couldn't go to sleep one day, and he brought out the books, and he like, hey man, somebody did a favor to me a long time ago. What's been done for him? And Mordecai, and they were like, this guy named Mordecai, like, none. And then that's when he had Haman. He had to basically show parade him around the city. But he Most High showed favor to Mordecai. It's a light thing for the Most High, to show favor towards you and have your enemy show favor towards you. You can have it to where your enemy is sick, mortally sick, or your enemy's daughter or your enemy's son, and you help them. And then that person who's in a powerful position, basically puts you in a high position. And understands that, man, the Most High is with you. This is Genesis 30 and 27. Because Pharaoh ended up putting Joseph over all of Egypt, over his whole house. Genesis 30 and 27. It says, wherefore didst thou flee away secretly? That's 31. Genesis 30 and 27. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, I have found favor. If I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry. For I have learned by experience that Yahweh hath blessed me for thy sake. So he understood, like, yo, you like a good luck charm almost. And Pharaoh was looking at him like, yeah, like Pharaoh, like Joseph is that guy. I gotta look out for him. You got a situation in your job where you're the only person that can do something, and then your boss don't like you, but you're the only one to get the job done. It's a light thing for the Most High to show favor to you. On that note, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem. Double honors to the elders of GMS Who Well. Peace, citation, like I come in the four corners of prison, truth, sincerity. Peace be unto you, and shalom.